I want to talk to you about prescription sunglasses with a mirror coating, so stick around. Thank you so much for joining me in my humble little abode. My name is Eyeglass Tyler. I'm an optician with SportRx, and I want to talk to you today about prescription sunglasses with a mirrored lens. This is a topic that comes up a fair amount when we're helping people, and so I want to kind of shed some light on this subject to make it a little easier for you to understand what to expect. And what I want to do to break this down is by covering topics like what a mirror coating even is. I want to cover if mirror lenses can be polarized, because that's a question that we get a fair amount. I want to talk about what the difference between a mirrored and polarized lens is. And as a fun little side note, I want to talk about removing scratches from a mirror coating. That'll be a quick topic right there. So hopefully by the end of this video, there's no more confusion around this subject and you're a little more comfortable. So let's dive in. So let's start with what a mirror coating actually is. It's pretty simple. It's a coating applied to the front side of the lens that creates glare and reflections off of the surface of the lens, which functionally means you're getting less light to your eyes. More light being reflected off the lens means less light making it through the lens, right? Makes sense. It also helps with what I refer to as ambient glare. That's light coming in at harsh angles. The harsher the angle the light's coming in, the more readily it reflects off of the surface of the lens. And that tends to be less usable light anyway, so that is a nice feature for sure. There's also the cosmetic side of the argument for mirrored lenses. Some people like that added customizability of their lenses. You can get fun and funky colors, right? So that's kind of cool too. That's what you would expect if you're looking for a mirrored lens. So a question we get a fair amount is, can mirrored lenses be polarized? Absolutely, a simple answer, and that is because they are not competing. They're not combative features. They are features that work independently and sometimes benefit from the other actually. In a lot of cases, I recommend doing a polarized lens and a mirrored lens, especially if you're looking for the darkest lens you can possibly get. Not always do I recommend a polarized lens, even though it is compatible with a mirrored coating lens. However, that gets us into kind of another topic, and we have videos on that as well. So you can check those out where I give you some guidance in whether or not you should go with a polarized lens, because there are a lot of things to consider with that and how it benefits you and your intended use. But suffice it to say, you can have a mirrored and polarized lens. Here's another question we get, and that is, what is the difference between a mirrored lens and a polarized lens? Like I said, they are independent features, so they can be done independently from one another, but the functionality of them, I explained the mirror coating side of things. The polarized side of things is, polarized lens is kind of the base of the lens, right? The mirror coating is applied to the front side of an existing lens. And if your existing lens is polarized, that means that your lens has a filter that cuts light on the horizontal plane, because that is where the majority, if not all, of glare exists. And when I talk about glare, I'm talking about light bouncing off of other objects. So the asphalt, other vehicles, windshields, water especially. Polarized is really important for any kind of water use. And so that's the difference. I mean, they're totally separate, independent features. They can work really well together. Again, if you want the darkest lens you can possibly get, polarized and a mirror coating. So a fun little side note here, because it's a question that we have definitely gotten, and that is, can you remove a scratch from a mirrored lens? This applies actually to all lenses, mirror coating or not, but it is a topic that we get introduced to a lot because mirror coatings historically have been more prone to scratching. And I will say that they have come a long way. We at SportRx only work with the best and most scratch resistant, good hard coat on our mirrored coatings. However, it's still something that nothing is scratch resistant, right? So it's still something to be aware of. And unfortunately, the answer to that question is no, they cannot be repaired. And the reason for that is the mirror coating is a coating that's applied to the front side of the lens. If you were to buff the lens out enough to get that scratch off, not only would you never be able to get it as clear and see-through as it originally was, but also you're going to be buffing right through that mirror coating. And so unfortunately, there is no fix to a scratched lens. You just have to replace it with a brand new fresh lens with a fresh mirror coating. So that pretty well wraps up what I think you need to know about prescription lenses with a mirrored coating. I hope that with this information, after understanding a little better what a mirror coating even is, and knowing if you can use it with a polarized lens and the differences between those things, and even with the added understanding of what to expect scratch resistant wise with a mirror coating, you feel a little better about your understanding and know what to expect for your own pair if you're going to get prescription lenses with a mirror coating. And by the way, if you ever order from SportRx and you're not totally satisfied with what you got, thanks to our See Better guarantee, you don't have to worry about it because we're going to take care of you, whatever that means on our end. And also, I know it gets overwhelming and intimidating getting prescription lenses online, and we have a lot of opticians. Like I said, I'm an optician here. We have a lot of opticians that would love to help you through this order process and demystify all of these different features and just make you feel more confident that you got the right thing the first time. So do not hesitate to reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this was interesting or valuable. If so, throw us a thumbs up. And also we have some relevant videos to check out there. And if you subscribe, by the way, you'll hear about when those relevant videos drop as soon as they drop. Also check us out on our social media outlets. Why not? @SportRx.